man, I can already hear the comment section coming for me.
Oh, but PlayStation has better exclusives. Oh, but PlayStation dominated the Xbox One. Didn't you see the sales? It was 2-to-1 ratio.
Listen, I'm not here to tell you which console to buy. I don't care if you play a Switch, a PlayStation, an Xbox. I don't even care if you're PC Master Race with your luscious white locks flowing in the wind. None of that matters to me. The reason why I'm making this video is to simply make people understand that there's a pretty good chance that Xbox is going to dominate this generation. The writing is on the wall. There are facts that back this up. History backs this up. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. What is going on, gamers? Welcome back to the Dom Gaming channel. My name is Eric, and today we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X and the reasons why I think it's going to be the dominant console this generation. Now, this isn't going to be one of those videos where I create an essay and I read it off to you guys. That's not the type of thing I'm going to be doing. I am working on a video like that for you, though, pretty soon. But this video is going to be a little bit more just me off the top of my head talking about Xbox Series X, reading the room, and kind of just seeing how things have gone in the past and comparing that to now. Because there's quite a few reasons as to why I believe the Xbox Series X is going to be the dominant console. And it's not just because we have Halo or anything like that, even though, yes, Halo is the best game. Don't at me. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into point number one. Now, everybody knows that cash is king, right? So if you were presented with a product and that product was the same quality as another product, but they were for a cheaper price, which product would you go with? Pretty straightforward, right? You're gonna go with the cheaper product because it's the same quality. Well, at the end of the day, that's the situation that we're looking at with the new consoles. There's a lot of rumors going around that the new Xbox is going to come in at a cheaper price underneath the PlayStation, hence why they're not releasing the actual price of either console. They're both waiting each other out. Now, some recent reports from Colt Eastwood and a couple of other different people are saying that the consoles are both going to be $500 on the dot. So that is a possibility. But I believe that it is still possible that the rumors could be true and that this console could come in at a $400 or $450 price range simply because Microsoft can afford to lose money on the console. They're a multi-billion-dollar company and the software sales are going to always outweigh the hardware sales. So there's a very good chance that simply just to get that market share, they may take a loss on the hardware and then go ahead and get their money back on the software. And that alone is going to go ahead and give them a leg up because, as we know with the console generations of past, the lower priced console always wins. But let's say that they come in at a $500 price range, both of them, they're exactly the same cost. Which one will win? I still believe it'll be the Xbox. And you may be wondering to yourself, how on earth is the Xbox going to be better than the PlayStation if they come out the same cost? The PlayStation 4 was by far superior to the Xbox in every single way for a very long period of time during this last generation. It's arguable whether or not the Xbox One X or the PlayStation Pro was the best console between those two, but at the end of the day, we all know that Xbox One just got completely mollywopped this past generation. But hear me out on this. Xbox Live just recently decided that they're no longer going to offer one-year cards. It's pretty obvious that Game Pass Ultimate is going to be the way that we get our Xbox Live going forward with this new generation. Xbox Live Game Pass is $15 a month, so your $60 cards is still there, it's just built into Game Pass, and anybody that plays games is spending at least $120 per year on video games. Each game is $60 brand new right out of the box. So unless you're on an extreme budget and you're not playing the newest games coming out, then you are definitely going to be spending at least $120 per year. Game Pass is now expanding to give you every single game when it releases first party the day it releases, and not just on your Xbox but also on your PC. That's a huge leg up that PlayStation doesn't have available. Everybody knows that PlayStation has not been wanting to play well when it comes to crossplay. Microsoft has been leading the way when it comes to that. So I believe the writing is on the wall that Xbox is going to be the user-friendly, the gamer-friendly product or brand this generation, whereas PlayStation, they're going to stick to what they know works. And I'm not saying PlayStation will fall on its face. It's going to do well. But I believe that this is going to push Xbox above PlayStation to a high degree. Now, the one thing that everybody always looks to when it comes to a console is, what are the first-party games looking like? And before I even get into this subject, yes, I know all of the Xbox first-party games are coming to PC. But at the end of the day, we're not considering PC in this conversation. If we were, PC would win outright. Everybody knows that. We're talking about PlayStation versus Xbox specifically in this conversation. No matter how many Xbox games come out on PC, they're not coming out on PlayStation. With that out of the way, today, let's go ahead and talk about that. So PlayStation is definitely going to have amazing exclusives. I'm not going to sit here and pretend and be some Halo fanboy or Xbox fanboy saying, oh, Uncharted isn't good. It's a great game. There are a lot of amazing games available on the PlayStation that are first party exclusives. The biggest problem has been is that Xbox just hasn't had games to compete with them at all. It's not that Xbox has had games and they just have been terrible. They haven't had games, and that's the biggest issue. We haven't seen Xbox in years actually produce several new exclusives. It's just been Halo, Gears, and Forza on repeat constantly. And besides Halo, I mean, Halo's been gone for a couple of years now, but you get my point. Now, with the new acquisitions that they've made in the past couple of years, they have a real chance at building new companies and building new games up to be able to compete with the PlayStation. So under no circumstances am I sitting here trying to tell you that the Xbox is going to have the best exclusives, but I am telling you they're going to have a fighting chance because there's going to be more to choose from, and therefore that's going to be another reason why I think Xbox is going to come out on top. And really my last point is a pretty simple one. History always repeats itself. If we look back whenever the Xbox was out and the PlayStation 2 was out, it was clear cut, no questions asked. The PlayStation 2 was not only the superior console, but it outsold. It was the king of that generation. The next generation, the Xbox 360 came out and the PlayStation 3 came out. And even though it was a much tighter, closer race, the 360 still won that generation. That's pretty much well known across the entire community. And then you look at the generation we're in right now that's about to end. There is no question that Xbox has absolutely fumbled the ball when it came to this generation, from the way that they released it to this day, because there hasn't been a lot of exclusives. They just didn't handle it that well, and they lost. And yes, they lost by a lot. But history repeats itself. It always does. So guys, there's a very good chance that the tables will turn once again and Xbox is going to come out on top for this generation, which means, yes, all you Xbox fanboys, you're going to have a generation where you get to be on top, but next generation, the PlayStation will go ahead and take that crown right back. It's just how it goes, because at the end of the day, when you're on top and you have no competition to actually compete with, you have no reason to continue to grow. If there's nothing to chase, there's no reason to continue. And so you just become complacent. You decide, hey, what's working is working. Why fix something if it's not broken, right? Well, that's when the underdog comes in with brand new technology and brand new games and all these new things that gamers really want to see. And that's when they take over. And that's exactly what happened with the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One. Xbox 360 was king. They were cocky. They thought they could do things that just, quite frankly, gamers weren't ready for. And PlayStation 4 was not only cheaper, but it made more sense for gamers. And the Xbox name was tarnished for a while. Things are going to go the other way this generation. Mark my words, I'm calling it. The Xbox Series X will hands down be the leading console of this generation. At the end of the day, guys, it doesn't really matter which console you prefer. Whether you play PlayStation or play Xbox, we all play games so we can hang out with our friends and have a good time while we're playing. So if the Xbox is the best console this generation, but all of your friends play on PlayStation, stay on PlayStation. It's what makes sense. If you got to the end of the video today, make sure you smash that like button and of course subscribe with the bell notification on so you never miss a future video. If you guys want to continue the conversation over on Twitch, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting around 8 p.m. Eastern, so to stop by. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, gamers, stay awesome and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.